One thing I've never understood is why MMA fans sit there and feel this need to bully everyone else into submission and feel the need to shit on anybody that watches anything that isn't MMA. I don't get it. Maybe it's one of those things that Dana White created, this us against the world mentality for MMA, the UFC, and their fans. Maybe that's part of it. And, to a certain degree, I can understand and appreciate that because, again, we're talking about a sport that was once referred to as human cockfighting by John McCain. Um, and it's battled a long, hard road to get some type of national and international mainstream acceptability as a sport. We'll always fight that battle ultimately. So, again, I get it, I understand it. But at some point in time, MMA fans just really need to shut the hell up because they sit there and, for whatever reason, so many of them, so many of them, sit there and stand, like I said, on this kind of bully pulpit and sit there and say, I watch MMA. That makes me a badass. That makes me a tough guy. Oh, you don't like MMA? Let's duke it out. Put up your dukes. I'm going to put you in a triangle choking. Ah, shut up. Yeah, you watch MMA. You must be a tough guy, right? Ah, get the fuck out of here. That would be like me wearing a Bears jersey and thinking I could play in the NFL, or thinking I'm an elite athlete because I'm a Bears fan and I wear a Bears jersey. Oh, how ridiculous is that? That would be like me sitting there and saying, wearing this professional wrestling shirt, this WWF shirt, sitting there saying, oh, I can take 20-foot bumps off of a ladder onto a flaming table filled with thumbtacks. No, I couldn't, nor would I want to. Just because I might be a fan of certain wrestlers, let's say, that do badass things that are legit tough guys, that in no way makes me a tough guy or doesn't make me a tough guy. It's completely unrelated. And it's ridiculous. Just because I watch football or just because I watch hockey, that doesn't make me a tough guy. For me to even sit there and insinuate that would be ridiculous to the highest order. But yeah, for MMA fans, they feel that just because they wear their Affliction and Tap Out shirts, and once a month they order their UFC pay per view and they watch John Bones Jones and they watch all these other fucks, that means they can do the same damn thing, and that makes them a tough guy, and that makes them tougher than any other sports fans. Oh, how ridiculous is that? And you guys know what I'm talking about too. You deal with these MMA fans all the time. These are the ones that, at the slightest thing that they disagree with you at, they're ready to hulk up on you, flux up on you, and try and bully you into submission. Oh, get over yourself. I know I dealt with it for years running a Foot Locker store. Every time you tell an MMA guy something he didn't like, the MMA guy looked like he wanted to fucking fight you. That doesn't make you a tough guy. If anything, it makes you a pussy that needs mental help. Seriously. Oh, I wear my Affliction and Tap Out shirts. I go down to my local dive gym every Thursday evening for about 45 minutes or an hour. Got a couple mats on the floor. I've got my little white belt in karate, and I'm doing some Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Ah, shut the hell up. That doesn't make you a tough guy. And like I said, this whole notion that in order to be a tough guy, you have to watch the UFC or watch MMA is a ridiculous thing. And the fact that you even talk about being a tough guy and you sit there and challenge everybody to fights when they don't agree with you, or you sit there and try to tell everybody how big of pussies they are, actually makes you look like the bigger pussy, if anything. It's that kind of bully mentality. To me, real tough guys, everybody knows are a tough guy. Or if they don't, the real tough guy shows restraint and humility and self control and doesn't fly off the handle at every damn thing and shows temperance and, has an even keel personality, knowing that if he needs to, he can bring things to an end very quickly before they escalate too far. But he's not going to sit there and go talking about it. He's not going to go sit there and bragging about it. This whole notion from MMA fans that, oh, people that watch professional wrestling are virgins and they're gay and they watch a gay fake sport. Well, number one, if you think that there's no way that anything in the UFC is predetermined, fixed, or fake, then you indeed are a fucking moron. Dana White for years has kind of talked about his man crush on Vincent K. McMahon and has taken a lot of the production and other principles from the WWE and implemented them into the UFC. And if you can't see that, then you indeed are a moron and an idiot, and you need to reevaluate things and how you see them. If you think that anything involving gambling and Vegas and odds and betting lines has no possibility or no chances of being predetermined, fake, or fixed, or rigged, or scripted, then you too are also an idiot. That goes for any other professional sport out there. You know, when money's on the line, when gambling's involved, you don't think that there's any way that it could possibly be predetermined, just like professional wrestling would be? You think every single UFC fight that you see in history has been on the up and up? Anything that involves judges is always going to be 100% on the up and up? All of these principles apply to boxing, don't they? And that's a sport for years that's been accused of rigging and fixing and people betting this way and then the guy takes a dive and all this other shit. So what's so different from MMA compared to boxing? It's the same damn thing when you apply those principles. There's gambling involved, there's judges involved, there's multiple participants, there's all types of human element around there. Oh, professional wrestling is gay because these are men fighting in their underpants, pretending to fight each other, pretending to hurt each other, and they grab each other and touch each other and hold each other. Yeah, because in MMA, you don't sit there and see that shit all the time, too. Got half naked men, if not more than half naked men, sitting there rolling around the ground, holding each other, guys mounting each other in a dominant position where the guy on his back is wrapping his legs around the guy's midsection or upper torso. Yeah, because that doesn't look gay at all. That's 100% hetero. No homosexual undertones to that whatsoever. Get the fuck out of here. Like I said, I don't get it. I mean, if you like MMA, that's fine. That's your business. I don't begrudge you for it. I can see why you like it. There are things to like about it. But then why do you have to sit there and shit on other people that like other forms of entertainment or other forms of sport or, people that like professional wrestling? Do you forget that a lot of you were professional wrestling fans first? I think you do. I think you do. A ton of MMA fans, a ton of people that watch UFC used to watch professional wrestling at some time. If UFC was so superior, why does Dana White do so many things to try and copy the WWE? And he does. And again, if you can't see that, then you indeed are the moron. I just don't get it. I don't understand how watching MMA, wearing affliction and tap out shirts and that type of gear, going to your local gym, doing this half-ass Gracie Jiu-Jitsu style shit makes you an MMA badass. How does that equate? It just doesn't. Like I said, there are millions of ham and eggers around the country that probably think they could beat somebody straight up in a fight. And maybe some people can and some people can't. But I assure you that you sit there and you watch these pay-per-views, you get liquored up. So many of these MMA fans that think they're really badasses are fat slobs just like professional wrestling fans are purported to be, just like football fans are purported to be, and so on and so forth. Oh, but it's different. I watch MMA. I watch guys like Brock Lesnar and King Velasquez and George St. Pierre and Anderson Spider Silva and John Bones Jones. Shut the hell up. There's a reason ultimately that they're doing it and you're not. Because for in a lot of cases, maybe they're badasses and you're not. Let's never get this twisted. I do not pretend to be a tough guy or a badass because I watch professional wrestling or football or any other sport or form of entertainment. I don't. It doesn't equate. Whether I'm a badass or not, it has nothing to do with any of those things. Me being a tough guy or not has nothing to do with any of those things whatsoever. It's only MMA fans that seem to really have this problem with themselves, this kind of identity crisis, this kind of superiority-inferiority complex where they have to try and make everybody else feel inferior in order to establish their own superiority because they're insecure in who they really are. Get over yourselves. You know what? Maybe from now on, I'll wear affliction and tap-out shirts, and I'll watch MMA, and that'll make me a tough guy, right? Oh, no. It doesn't work that way, does it? So MMA fans, do me a favor. If you want to watch your stuff, you want to watch your sport, fine. Enjoy it. Enjoy it for everything that you feel it's worth. I will not begrudge you for that. I will not hold it against you for that. That is fine. That is your business. But stop going out in public wearing your affliction or tap-out shirt, acting like a fucking wannabe badass with a short fuse anytime anybody ever says anything to you. You're not tough. You're not a hard ass. And for a lot of you MMA fans, you should be careful who you do that crap to, because one of these days you'll actually run into a badass that'll beat the ever-loving shit out of you. But I forgot. That'll never happen because you watch MMA. You must be a tough guy.